morning. Good morning. It's 6:57 here in the west of the United States. And we're about to start here saying good morning to you. Everybody will mosey in when they mosey in. Good morning, Timmy. Good morning, Walleye King. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, 42. Good morning, Red Wagon. And good morning to Croatian Dude. Probably sleeping, huh? Yeah. Good morning, Canuck. Good evening, Simply Sue. And Flutter Girl, of course. And Deborah Dawn, 24. Good morning. And Ramblin' Wreck, 2718 to round it off. And like I said, the other ones will mosey in when they mosey in. It's all good. Let me make sure I did that. All right, cool. Well, right now we're in, what do you call it, a solar storm. Can you believe it? Yeah, we have KP7 right now, or a G3 solar storm. Looks like we're about to drop down into a KP6 and a G2 storm. But we're still at 6.67 on a solar storm that started with a 7 here. Well, let's start with a 6. 6 started at 300 hours. Here we are. Wow. 7 hours later, and we're still solar storming. Strong solar storm moving in. Has moved in, and it's starting to wane just a bit. It looks like it got up to at 12 o'clock. Looks like it got up to 7. Yeah, it got up to a 7 here at 12 o'clock, right? No, 3 o'clock. Yeah, started kicking off at 0-100 hours, and then boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's been doing it, man. It's been kicking some booty. We were at a KP 4.67 at 2100 hours. Then at 0-100 hours on the 12th here, we are up to a 6.63, and then we moved up to a 7 at 300 hours, and we stayed at a 7 all the way until the last check, which is 900 hours. So 9 hours of solar storming, looks like. And right now we're at 6.67, and we just let's see, what time was that? At 8:50 hours. So again, we're at 13:50 now. At 8:50 we had another M. We started the UT having a 1.2 M, and this other one ended up being a 1.02 M, and right now we're at C 3.24. So yep. So it's been pretty busy, solar wise, not earthquake wise, and definitely not World War III wise. And we'll try to get some information on you for there. Yeah, I don't know. Crazy stuff. Solar wind right now is 472. It's down from 500 when I first got on here half hour ago. And proton density is up to 15. So and the M1 happened at 8:48, and the other M1 happened at 2017 yesterday. All right, cool. We have two solar sunspots, 80 and 84. Let me show you these. 80 and 84. Bing, ding, 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 ding. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. All right, here's number 80 right here. This sunspot and 84, this sunspot, both have the capacity for X flares. And we're right here in the middle. And 77, 74 have already moved way over here. So if we do get something, it'll be from that side or from one of these two. The other little spots have waned, Um, yeah, slightly up, huh, Susan? It's down from when I first got on. But yeah, these things are pretty darn big too. That's what we got: one, two, three sizes the size of our planet in width, and one, two, three size. Yeah, so three. It's 80 is way bigger than us, and the other one is one, two, maybe two and a half, and 1, 2 wide. So big, 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 big sunspots. And as you hear the dinger going off, that's because Italy has been bouncing. The Aegean Sea has been bouncing at 4.4 over there in Greece. And the Aegean's been banging, 4.3 and a 2.9. Italy at 2.7 and Aegean at 4.4. And another province in India, 3.4. So that area right here has a lot of energy that's pounding. Right over here in Greece, this area was pounding, and then this area here, and we're going to see what's going on. We'll monitor that. We don't do so much of forecasting, but only if there's like a lot of energy. We say, hey, we can say, well, this is a place of interest that I'm going to watch personally. People who are saying, oh, it's going to happen, 99% don't happen that way. Well, 70% anyway. And 30 of them were all lucky. Yeah, I've called a few, but not exactly, and not the depth or anything like that. So we just say, this is a place of interest that we're going to watch, see what happens. So interesting that it's almost in a straight line across the middle of the southern portion of Europe. And that would suggest that the African plate smacking up against the Eurasian plate is making some noise. Don't see anything happening out here so much in the Middle East, specifically Israel, Syria, and Jordan, and Egypt. Periodically, we do see the Angola and Antillonian, sorry, not Angola, but Antillonian fault system working through, and on the southern half and the northern half. This one's popping up to be a 3.1 right now. This isn't locked in. The Aegean Sea ended up being a 4.3 and a 4.4 and a 2.9. Yeah, and a 2 point something or other. It's kind of weird. The Aleutian Islands came in at a 2.7. And I posted up all the other earthquakes that happened. There's just not a lot of earthquakes. Haida Gwaii, 2.9. New Zealand, again, the Northern Island, New Zealand, 2.7. A lot of these USGS won't post because they're foreign and they're not at a level that USGS feels of importance. But the EMSC will report those, and we do follow the EMSC on a lot of this stuff. So because they report it, man, that's what we need. We need the reporting. And so back to the solar stuff. Nice aurora that hit on the 10th. This is Oregon. Check this picture out, man. Right? I believe that's Hood. You know, the aurora being all that red stuff. Yeah, man. What a pick. Nice silhouette. Yeah, I kept this one. This is a great pick. Quinn, August 11th at Government Camp, Oregon. Yeah, isn't that pretty? Can you imagine being a settler or an Indian or a Native American, I should say, not an Indian, Native American, and then seeing a sky light up in the middle of the night going, whoa, and what that does, especially if it's moving, man, it's kind of scary. I can imagine all the religious ideals that popped up into, these guys' head, trying to understand the world around them. Now that we're older and smarter and, or I should say, more science-based, not older, but, more current with all our technology, we understand how that's working. The aurora. See, there's the aurora, man. Yeah, that's the probabilities. Yeah, baby. No significant sunspot up, except for way up in the north. But big sunspots moving out of the way. Looks like a lot of brightness coming around, so we'll see. The X flares coming out of this one here and this one over here. Probabilities. And the probabilities on the X is 75% chance for an M, 30% for an X. It was at 35 over the weekend, but it dropped down to 30. That's still pretty high. Normally we're at about 5% chance. Today is the 12th, and there's 2 rocks out there. One is 300 feet across, and one is 120 feet across. The 300-footer's traveling at 26.4 kilometers a second, and it's 5 million miles plus away from the Earth. The other one's in the 4 million mile range, and both of them are not a threat to us at the moment, but they still are out there, and we still know where they're at. Check this out. The Pleiades is happening right now. So every night, NASA network of all sky cameras scans the skies above the United States for meteoric fireballs. Automated software maintained by NASA's Meteoroid Environmental Office calculates the orbits, velocity, and penetration, deep Earth atmosphere, and many other characteristics. Daily results, you can see them right here. 126 fireballs over North America. North America being U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Crazy, eh? All right, so KP right now is a 6.67, and we're moving on. Geometric storm probabilities for the mid-latitudes is 30%, and the uppers are 10. Right now, we're in a geometric storm, so it's 100%. So nothing to shake a stick at. And we'll take a look at the latest. You can see right here, here's the M, the last M we had, and we just bopped up to a 6.699, or 6.99, and right now we're just starting to cruise about 3.23. And the M range, not a whole lot happens unless it gets into the higher M's, and we get a bunch of them. So all this thing does is show that our planet is being charged by the sun, and it's kicking up a little bit. So nothing really fantastic to see at the moment, but if we looked at LASCO, here's LASCO 2, and I push play here, we'll see if there's anything popping out at us. Looks like up in the north a little bit, something popped. The south looks like it's gonna pop. There was a little burner. Nothing fantastic to speak of right this minute or within the last 24 hours. There's stuff coming at us, but it's up in the north. We'll check the BZ here real quick. Yeah, let's go ahead and check the BZ over here at spaceweatherlive.com. Sorry. We're way in the BZ, negative 16. That's pretty good to be in. We're at negative 17 over here, so 18 even, and 20 negative. That would suggest that if a flare happens, the southern hemisphere of our planet, which because we are in the summer in the northern hemisphere, the deep southern hemisphere, which would be the Antarctic region and Chilean region, would get kind of zapped pretty good. And then we look at the flare absorptions, and let's look at this. It might catch the M. We're at 600 hours. We'll see here in a minute. Yeah, you can see Europe getting. We did have a couple of quakes right in that area, in the Iranian but you can see this is a long radiating of our planet, and that's the center of the sun upon our planet, and coming across, and you'll see it's way down here in the south. We'll look at the ground magnetics now, and you can see, wow, when the upper atmosphere gets supercharged, the lower atmosphere, or down in the crust where we live, gets charged as well. But scientists didn't believe that was happening. More and more and more, they're starting to realize that, hey, some of that stuff does hit the surface and goes through the many layers of our atmosphere. They now have satellites that look into the center part of the atmosphere, which wasn't really contemplated or wasn't really studied. The way upper atmosphere was studied, and the lower, where the planes fly, was, like weather and stuff. But now they're starting to look at the kind of in the middle, and as they do, they're having to change some of their thought processes. Nothing really drastic has changed. They're just going, well, all right, things don't act like we once thought they did. So, science is an evolving study, or understanding. The repeatable sciences, those are pretty solidified, but understanding our planet and how it functions and where it goes, we're still, look at this. This is the magnetic perturbs on the freaking crust. I haven't seen this in a while. So this catches the geometric storm really well. Yeah, you can see it bursting over Africa right there. And so the magnetics of our planet are going ape shoot crazy. Yeah. Strong poles in the North American region. And I would look at Sandwich Islands today. I'd also watch over here in the Indonesia, India area, maybe even Pakistan, to see what transpires. We're going to see a flow go from a backflow go from Fiji all the way into Indonesia. Halmahera bounced twice today in the last 24 hours, so pretty strong cracks, a 5.0 and a 4 something. What was it? 4.3? No, that was Iran. The 5.0 Tobolo. But a 4.2 in Uranus, Armenia, popped. So we're looking at that. Can you close that? So, that is what happened. Yeah, so it's crazy. My wifey just came through and asked me a question. I had to respond. But yeah, we haven't seen this kind of ground magnetic perturbs for some time. So, and it's reached out pretty darn much. I'm going to watch the Mid-Atlantic Ridge too. There was an earthquake in the Pacific, kind of an odd range, just west of Easter Island, or southwest, and it's along a ridge called Challenger Ridge, and that feeds right into I don't know, what is it, Tahiti, the French Polynesian area. that goes all the way over to Samoa and that. So it's way out there in the Pacific. Remember, the Pacific Ocean is not what you see it. If I showed you on a map here, you look like the Pacific Ocean. Well, it's about the same size as Europe. That is not the case. That is definitely not the case. It's way bigger, and they just make it like this so it fits on a map. Yeah, you can see a couple of quakes that come through. Interesting enough, here's the Southern Pacific 5.4. You have over here Fiji region 4.5. You have Tobelo or Halemarahara. Then you come up here to Orion. Look at that straight line. Yeah, that's a liniment. It's a magnetic line of activity. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we didn't get something up here on the Rick James. Italy's already bouncing. Greece already bounced. So it's still on that line. Maybe an odd one in France. I don't know. Maybe the Greenland Sea. Canada. I don't know. We haven't checked. But we just go ahead and look. Yeah. Looking up here in Canada, right? All right. So we're looking here. We're looking somewhere in this region to see if anything happened. And looky there. This is old, but it's what year? 723, 718, 81. All right, so these are all Western Canada, but you don't hear of these because U.S. just doesn't report them, and it's a disservice to us and to everybody else. But you can only focus on what you can focus, and this one happened on 7/30. Those are dates, by the way, all the 3 dates. So, and then off the Atlantic Ocean, 4:0 on the 30th as well. So Canada has been getting some bumpers. Now, I don't see up here when I know there was one up that way. And so interesting enough that the solar energy is there. The BZ is it coming up now? Looks like it's up at a negative 16 right there. So yeah, we're watching that. Let's look at what's going on in the sun. The different angstroms. The angstroms are different frequencies that we look at the sun for. Here's the 94 angstrom. Looking into the atmosphere of the sun, you can see a bright spot here and over here at the time this was taken. And interesting enough, and as I open this, there we go. This is 131 angstroms. So the different frequency, and they can look deeper into. You can see a nice sunspot spots in there. 171 is the orange one. You can see this. Look at this, way out here, right? That's the one that was having some of the X's. Yeah, pretty far out there. Here's 195 angstrom. The other one's 171. And this is kind of what we see most of the time. You can see the big coronal hole, which is in the north. So it'll be blowing out some wind in the northern hemisphere. Bright on the eastern limb here. And then the deep blue, which is 284 angstroms. And it's just different ways to look at the sun. You can see a nice billow right there of a filament of some sort. Maybe this is a filament through here too. But you can see waves of energy, right? You can see it all the way around. Interesting to look through the flares and the parts of the sun. And the thermatic map. Watch this. Right? Check that out. Bright region filament is orange. Some filaments like we said. Prominences or little orangey. There's a filament right there and right there. Coronal hole right up here at the top. Quiet sun is all blue. And then a flare is the pink. So there you have it, baby. And unlabeled is white. Anyway, interesting stuff. I thought I'd bring that to you as well. Try to bring that on a daily schedule, so you learn a little bit about it. Let's see. Moving on up to planet positions. This is where we're at locally. Earth is right here. Saturn, Neptune are visible, and Mercury is. Even Ceres, Pluto, and Eris, if you have good, telescopes. Uranus is behind Mars. So if you're looking at Mars and you're able to see it without the sun interfering, Uranus is behind Mars. Jupiter is to the left. All right? The moon's on the backside of the planet, man. Come on now. All right? All right, so you know where Uranus is. We looked at the ground magnetics. Let's look at the tremors, see what's going on tremor-wise. We haven't seen that in a couple of days. Yep. Strong showing up here in Silesia, or the Olympic Peninsula. Pretty strong showing there, 282 as a total. Down here in northern Cal, yeah, by Black Butte Lake, yeah. And here's the other volcano that died, Sutter Butts, right? That's an old volcano, like maybe it wouldn't be a strato, it might be a shield or something like that. But you can see it's way south, and then there's a little bit coming in through Klamath, right? It's vibrations, and then a ton up here in Olympic. Let's go ahead and look. That's yesterday's. Let's go ahead and look at the day before. Nothing was reported the day before that one. Yeah, look at that. 176 up there. Yeah, all in a Silesia area. I say Silesia because that's the igneous province that came ashore. Bam! Right up on shore. And then we go all the way to on the 8th. Look at that. When I showed you that, I said, why is there a line like this and a line like this and a line like this? And then it filled in. Almost as though something was pressuring or it was sliding. Like, almost like it was sliding like that way, right? Maybe if I took just a hair off of this one, right? Maybe just a little bit. So if the energy of all these dots, mainly came along these lines, right, and then some filled in, the focus would be going like that and like that. So what would make the land slide like that? How would we do this? I'll just go file new. So if we had like this, that's kind of what was going on. All right? All the dots. Right? So energy moving up this way. Right? That it slid here first and then it slid here. It looks like it's northeast to southwest. Well, that's because of what? In my mind, I'm seeing the Pacific Ocean go this way. This whole area is turning this way. So it's sliding. And then these are just filling in what's following afterward. That's how I see what was going on right here. There's a slide. There's a slide. Pretty simple to see. And then and there's another one. But this area is not super deep. Although the Olympic Mountain's there, as high as the mountain is as deep as it goes into the subsurface. The subduction zone out here is relatively shallow. So the scientists have said in a latest paper, relatively shallow, like over by where San Andreas is, it drops like that, and then you have the buildup of the land. That's how the San Andreas is when up there where California-Oregon border is. The plate subduction zone, and then it actually becomes a transform fault or a strike slip. So up here, it's not that way. It kind of shallower, and right, and so it creeps more. It's creeping, and although it does build up friction here, we get a lot of the vibrations because it's sliding over the top. There's a lot of water in an ocean water in this slide, so it's vibrating a lot more. Now, just because this has mountains on it, Greece, they're going to talk about Greece. That's what that bells are. So these vibrations, and then it starts to really fill in as we go to the next day, and then the next day, nothing, and then the next day. It started here and it's moving that direction, right? Yeah, see, it stayed right in there, right in this side of the Olympic Peninsula. Earthquake wise, these are not earthquakes, these are just vibrations. Earthquake wise, most of the larger earthquakes in the area have happened right here in Washington. And as we look on here, I can do a search for you and zoom in and say custom. I'll do 6, just to argument's sake, right? And I'll do 1700, and then custom, just to show you where the earthquakes have happened that are greater than 6 in this region. You'll put it important because it doesn't show, but all right, then do a search. These were all the quakes. See what I'm saying? The major quakes have happened in the south. Now our vibrations are happening right up in here on this part of the peninsula, but you can see greater than 6s happen right here in the south. Yes, they have one out here and one up here and one out there, but if we're looking at the quakes themselves, primarily there's 4 quakes since 1700 right there. So that's what we look at, and that's the reason why we watch the tremors, see what's going on. Other than that, everything's moving all the time. G3 now, we dropped down to a G3. Yeah, KP7. Actually, we're at 6 point something now, Timmy. Thank God it's Monday, huh? Chat, hey. Yeah, Canuck says, good morning. Perfect weather there, he says. He's going to, with a nice breeze and low humidity. Yeah. Good time to mow the lawn there, buddy. So that's what's going on, and in the latest tremors. The buoys, is there any drunk Chinamen out there? I'm not seeing any. Yeah, they may have changed their because I was noticing it. Yeah, I know their signature when they bounce. And the last time they bounced, where was it? Right up here. Yeah. There was a quake and the signature wasn't the same as the others. And it was, oh yeah, they're there. They are there, letting everybody know without doing through the channels, right? All right. I can see that there's a tropical something down there. It says, take a look. Nothing out here in the East Pacific and the Atlantic. We've got 5 potential tropical cyclone, 26 miles an hour moving west, 30 miles an hour winds, and it's a little something. I saw that on the Weather Channel too. I know the East Coast had lots and lots of rain, and happy to see red made it through. Yeah, so national buoys in there. Let's go right into the volcano news. Let's see what's going on. Show news. Okay. All right. They added something. In the news today, August 12th, 2024, Santa Guido, Fuego, Ibu, Dacono, Raventador, Sangay, White Island, and Sakurajima again. Simiru there in Indonesia, the bottom part of Java. It's the same, about 2,000 foot pop. Raventador, not a lot. It's 11,000 going to 16. Little Toby volcano, and you remember on this map here, you see the seahorse. Little Toby, follow it all the way. Hit Little Toby. Little Tolo's over here, over there. 6,000. That's a 600 foot mountain, so it's down a bit. Okay. Ibu popping 8,000. Now Ibu popped here. Dacono popped here. 2 earthquakes have happened right outside here in the Malacca Sea. Yeah, that's on our list. So these 2 things happen and these 2 things happening. What's that telling you? Sebenkaya, 19,000 going to 23. That's in the southern Chile. No, Peru, sorry. Dacono, 8,000 as well. Santa Guido, 14. That's 12,002, 12,003. Santa Maria, Santa Guido complex there in Guatemala. 50 miles northwest of Fuego. And Little Toby, 11,000. So a little stronger at Little Toby on that time it popped. Remember, going back in time, that's what we're doing here. Ibu, 8,000. Fuego, 14. A little bit low on Fuego. Dacono, 8,000. White Island, New Zealand. Elevated SO2 concentration suggests magma at shallow levels. Yeah, is this thing going to pop? Oh, yeah, let's take some more people to watch it. Yeah, get burned. Yeah. Old Snarly's made it in. Reventador, 14. Again, it's a 11 or 12,000, nothing there. Sangay, 17 going to 23. It's a little stronger out of Sangay there in Ecuador. So the back half or northern half of Ecuador, maybe something will happen in the Panama region. So we'll be taking a look, or the Galapagos. We'll be watching. Sebenkaya is nothing. Sakurajima, the southern port of Japan, 9,000 feet. Here's the southern Japan. Now those other earthquakes banging right here, and we'll talk a little bit about how that has changed. Sakurajima popping a little bit here, and then Tsunozajima down below. Let's see. Tsunozajima, yeah, Ryukyu, 4,000 out of 2,500. 4.4 coming in. Catamarca, Argentina. This is subject to change, so don't panic when that pops in like that. What's this? Close. Shomar. Over the weekend, Ibu. I'm just checking over the weekend if there's any significant changes. Both Dacono and that. Here's Tsunozajima, still popping to 4,000. Simiru over here in Java, 15. Sangay, Sebenkaya, both are 20. White Island, New Zealand, yet another minor eruptive phase. Yeah. Stay off the island. Stay away from the island. Explosive stuff happens. We don't have... Well, there might be some liquid getting in here to create that steam as well, but we don't want the ocean to get in there, because then we'll have a massive tsunami. Volcanic magma and ocean water don't mix very well. Very explosive. And Ibu Dacono doing their thing over the weekend. White Island, 6,000 feet. Jeez. That's a danger zone, man. Under 6,000. Popo said just a little squirt. It's 17 and change going to 19. First time I seen Popo in, gosh, 2 or 3 months. Popocatépetl there in Mexico City. And fuego. Svartfenzingi, swarm of small earthquakes beneath Svartfenzingi region continues to increase. Yeah. Well, stay with us when we talk about on the rabbit holes. We did have a rabbit hole over on Saturday. Some of you popped in, some of you popped out. But, hey, we understand real life, right? So we talk a little more in depth about those things happening around our planet. And so August 9th, we're not going to go back into that. So there we go. Let's go into this day in history. Yeah. Greece, 7.1 in 1953. Now, we've been studying 1952 because it seemed like a lot of things are happening in 1951, 52, and 53. The historical record shows very much activity. Here we are in the middle of August and a 7.1 right there on that side of Greece. Yeah. Killed almost 500 people, damaged 27,000 homes. Crazy. Part of mainland Greece and southern Italy shook. August 9th and the 11th also caused damage and casualties. There were numerous aftershocks. This is no joke. A 7.1 is going to produce 1 to 3 6s, maybe another 7, but it will produce 40 to 50 5s. Can you imagine a 5 every other day happening right there? Oh my gosh, maybe 10 a day. Sometimes it'll go up even higher. So just the progression of earthquakes, when you get a large earthquake, the aftershocks, the settling of the ground after it's been moved. And when it doesn't settle, I start to worry. And oh my God, son, it's going to do it again. There's a higher chance for that to happen. So, yeah. Thank you, 42, for putting that up there. I look forward to you doing that every day. And Snarly, you know where to find your Uranus. Let's see what else we have. So let's go right into what the latest earthquakes are, and we'll go about 12 hours out and then trace it back in, and you'll see a line of quakes happen. Look at this. Watch this here. Let me move this all the way up. Right. This is what current in the last couple hours is. Now watch as I move down the list. Watch up here. Watch that line, that magnetic lineament. Watch. There it is. You can see it. It does pop off on this end, come down, but you can see right through here. It's pretty crazy. Now, these are over the last couple of days, all the way from the 9th. Right? You can see where the progression was here, and then it moved over to here, and then it came back. That line, right? That's what I like about this map. It tells me the progression of things. And you can watch North America over here too. Watch as I go back in time. It's almost like it comes out of Mexico and then shoots across North America all the way into St. Lawrence, and then it continues. Isn't that weird? Going back in time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So pretty far out. Well, we'll go back 12 hours just to get you abreast of what's the latest of four pointers are up. 4.4, 5 Halmahara. We talked a little bit about that one already. Crete, little 2-3. Baja popping at 3.7 and a 3.0. So that's up at the Delta. San Felipe crack. Offshore Oaxaca had a 4. Hokkaido, Japan. That's northern Japan, way at the top. 4.4. Central Cali still banging around at a 2. Southern Iran popped with a 4.3, and then off Chiapas had a 4. Then a Gulf of Alaska 3.2. And the Aegean Sea is a 2.1. Veracruz, Mexico, which is on the other side, the interior side, where the Gulf of Mexico is, a little 3.8. Still significant that it shows that it's going on. Northern Italy. Haiti had a 3.4. Slovenia, Baja, there's Baja again, 3.6. Tell you the chicken leg's moving. And little Utah, little 2.3. Yeah, nothing to worry about. But it could be an indicator of something developing. 3.5 Oaxaca, 4.2 the Philippine Islands region. Pretty steady there. Molucca Sea, there's over by Halmahara. There's the 5 out there in the middle. Yeah, there's the Molucca Sea again, 3.7 right afterward. Southern Pacific Ocean, the 5.4. We'll look at that here in a minute. Portugal, Virgin Islands, 3.4. 4.5 the Aegean Sea. 25 people reported that an hour ago. We watched that happen. Maybe not you live, but I was watching it. Miramar, little 3.6, moving up there through past India, or right before India. The Aegean Sea still banging away, bang, bang, bang. Strong quakes. The Aegean Sea popped with another 4.2, and then another 2.4 in Greece, 2.8. Greece seems to be really taking a lot. In central Turkey, all these little ones. Southern Italy, central Turkey, and then southern Italy, because it's just moving right across. A lot of energy moved across. There was big Japanese quake that hit down on the bottom as you're looking at the map above. It hit down here, right down here, and then it hit right up here at 6.5 over the weekend. Right? Follow that Lake Baikal all the way over, and all that energy moves right through Turkey, in through Greece, out through Spain, out to the mid-Atlantic. The travel of it. That's what we're watching, the progression. So southern Italy's banging, central Turkey's banging, the Aegean Sea is banging. So all this stuff is happening right here, right now. Now in the U.S., Southern Cal popped with a 2.9 up at Big Bear, and then the Grapevine again, 2.6. This is still not stopping. We don't know if it's going to pop away, but that's where a pretty good little quake was, just south of Bakersfield right there. And it's still banging. And up here at Pinnacles, it appears everything's on the North American side of the plate, as Pacific plate's grinding up against it. It's like a cheap whore, right? Grinding up against you. 2.6 up in Laytonville. And that's pretty far north of Willits. And here's Clear Lake Volcano down here. And they're not showing much. But if I looked at all the magnitude, you'd see, yeah, a lot of stuff. You know, bringing stuff up here through Santa Rosa, which can get, you know, pretty serious quakes. And you can see the different spots that are active. Interesting, coming out of Salt Lake City, right, down into St. George, and then coming out the Texas Liniment, moving across toward Vegas, the Walker Lane Liniment moving south. And if you looked, back here, backside of the San Bernardino Mountains. For those people here in Los Angeles, activities moving through Big Bear, right? The San Jacinto Fault moving across and up. Then there's a couple little ones here, Brea, California, little Smalley, and South Pasadena, Smalley, all 1.7s. Then you can see the little swarm still happening right there, right? It's not done. It's still there. It may grow into something bigger. I don't know. It may just peter out. I don't know. Nobody does. But, and then let's go back and then all twos. Kansas had a little banger, little 2.5, Asaria, Kansas. Nothing showing else on the North American other than down here in the Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands there, U.S. Virgins. And Puerto Rico, a couple of spots on Puerto Rico, and then out in between in the Mona Passage. Smaller quakes. Southern Peru, Bolivia border, a little 4.2. I posted that. And then down in 5.0 down in Coquimbo, right? That other quake happened right up here, the big 7 right there. And then it banged around a little bit, and it kind of moved south, it kind of moved north. Nothing has transpired. The Andes just rose up a little bit, you know. And on the east, there's where the Southern Pacific Rise, our hit is. Here's our East Pacific Rise. Here's Easter Island. And look at this. This rise here. Let's show you. The Challenger Fracture Zone. Yeah. So, strong quakes happening on there. This is a relatively shallow 9.4 depth. So, I don't believe it was a tsunami crater. So, doesn't mean it won't. It just, I don't think this one did it. Fiji's popping a little bit. 4.5 at 569 depth. Looking for up to a 5.5, 1,000 miles around. Shallow, that is. And more than likely to hit closer to a 5. Then here's another 4.3 at the same depth, 556 depth, and up to a 5.3. So there's a bunch of power because it's the weakest link. That's why the earthquakes happen at the weakest link. So if this is always pounding, what does it tell you? Fiji's the weakest link. It's not the initiator, it's the weakest link. Then it fills in behind. Does it fill in this side? No, it fills in this side because this is the weakest link. PNG, Vanuatu are all part of the same thing. And there's that straight line, that magnetic line that boasts all the way through. Right? Here's Azerbaijan. Armenia had a 4.2. Still watching what happened up here. There's the Svalbard that happened last night. It gets overlooked a lot, but 5.1. We were seeing several quakes in Sweden up in the north. So I was saying, watch up here. And sure enough, bam. I didn't think it was going to be that strong, but yeah, we were watching. And that's pretty much it on the quakes here. So, and weather-wise, let's go ahead and look at what Wendy has to say. Vendusky. I don't see any storms. Oh, shoot, look up here by Kamchatka in Tokyo. We got Sontin. Yep. Maria. How can be one with an S and then an M? That's weird. And then we have another one moving up that direction. Let's look at the radar. All right, so wind speeds. It's picking up a little 25 mile an hour. This one's at 20. This is at 31. It's a little tighter here. Let's see, radar or satellite. Look at satellite here. Still in the dark up here in northern Japan. Strong storm here moving through. Let's see. Not much rain, but it's moving west, south. No, it's moving west, southwest, I guess. Lots of rain. Yeah, up here. Now, the other quake happened right out here. The 7 happened down here, and then this one here. It was actually like a 6.5 up to a 6.8 in Japan. This one happened, and it's on the plate boundary, on that side of the plate boundary. Lets me believe that's going to come up here through Lake Baikal, through the plate. Yeah. So 3 storms, all moving in and converging on northern Japan. Some people think, if we looked at the COD, some people think, and I'm not discounting it, I'm just saying some people think that if we looked at NextRad, right? If we played will not be offline, preventive maintenance. All right. August 12th. Well, that's today. It's offline. That these NextRad radars draw storms to them because of the frequency they burst as they look for storms. And you'll see it kind of like waves busting through. And looking at dirty, and we pushed go. Southern Cal got a lot of rain over the weekend, looks like. We get a little bit. Looks like Oklahoma definitely got some big storms. I pray everybody's okay in Oklahoma. Yeah, it's going south. Looks like it's petering out into Mississippi or Arkansas there, actually, right? Yeah, Arkansas. So it petered out, which is good. Don't want anybody having any kind of problems. Monsoonal moisture in the west, in the Four Corners. Still some rain up there in Washington and Montana and Idaho. Yeah, probably pretty good storm moving through as the low hits Vancouver. The other one came out of Canada, going through the Great Lakes, moving over through upstate New York, and then on out. The hurricane now was offshore that came through, getting pushed off pretty fast. It's still going to be sticky, still going to be wet for a lot of people. But some of you dry out for a little bit, you'll get it again. Don't worry, it's coming. Very weird about on the west. But watching some of the NextRad stuff and looking in my area right here, storms up here in the Four Corners, and if I looked at these ones, just look at the Four Corners, some lightning up in the north. Yeah, as what these are also the NextRads. Where's Oklahoma? Right here. We'll see if we can catch some of these here. All right, let's see what happens if I push play. Nothing. All right, there it goes. Now it's push and play. You can see the lines. See these lines here? That's the power of the NextRad radar. So it pulses all the way around. And sometimes you can see what appears to be movement of the clouds, funky-wise, depending on the elevation of their pulse. And I'm not sure if when the NextRad is, NextRads are these big round blobs, right? All to protect the little tiny instrument inside. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the radar went out like this. All right, so it not just out in a beam like this, but it came the whole gamut, and it might even be here, or in a thin. So if this is the round thing, and the beam went out, it might be out this way at the same time. That's the beam, then that's the beam, and that's the beam, and it just kind of pulses. Goes around the satellite or the instrument. And as it does, you can see, sometimes you'll see clouds that are moving this way, like all of a sudden change right toward it. Or you'll see waves emanate outward. It's strange how they'll emanate outward. Yeah, it's far out. So that being said, we watch, and you can see at the different levels, like the upper level, see where the big storms are happening right here in Nebraska and Kansas. Also coming out of Utah. And not seeing a whole lot of waves today. Here's the lower levels. This is where all the heat is. Looks like we're going to be warm and yucky. Humidity. The dingers are just telling you it's being updated. So looking at this, Eastern Kentucky coming in. The quality is a B. We're moving towards an A. It's a 2.2. And Western Texas, a 1.7 came in. All right. But if I click on this, you'll see there's the earthquake. There's a little one, but here's a bigger one. Eh? So, Western Texas, it's updating, and there's earthquakes happen. That's what the dingers are. And we can look at the West Texas one, and little dinger. See, as the P wave rises out or goes out, there's the P. This is a surface wave. Right? All the other instruments pick up on it. And then observed is 89% here in Kentucky. Still quality of B, and it's a 2.2 Western or Eastern Kentucky. That's been going on for a couple of days too. Not seeing a whole lot of reports of what's happening. Why? And you'll see a concentration of all these stations. You think that's on purpose? You bet it is. Also through Kentucky, all the way through here. Yeah, there's a reason that they have a concentration. Like Oklahoma, right? West Texas, Midland, Texas, right? Odessa area, right? And then you'll see concentration here in Jersey, kind of weird. You'll see a line of them from Maine all the way into Vermont and New Hampshire, and then straight across as they move in towards Canada and stuff. So there's a reason there's a concentration. Like Colorado's kind of spread out pretty evenly. In Idaho and Wyoming, right, where the park is. Montana, not much over here, but over here. Right, down the Rocky Mountains. Also down the Cascade Range. Not a whole lot of north on this instruments. Not a whole lot. Wonder why. They don't think Mount Lassen or Shasta's going to pop? I don't know, man. We get a lot of vibrations up there. It might be a reason why. We just don't know. G4 right now. We jumped up to a G4? KP8? Wow, let's check that out, man. Strong storm expected. Let's go ahead. Well, I'm still seeing a KP 3. It's KP, yeah, KP 3. I mean, KP 6.67, but a G3. You're saying KP 8 right now. Is that the expectation there, Timmy? Or we'll go to real time. G4 severe dramatic storm, KP 8 is happening right now, 1400 hours. Yeah, I guess it just came in. Currents suggest the moderate possibility for auroras to appear. Well, yeah, there'll be that. Strength of interplanetary magnetic field is moderate, 18.78 nanotech teslas. The direction is moderately south at negative 13. That's what we're saying. It's on the rise, though. Yeah, on the rise. Maybe NOAA is a little bit behind. We'll see. No solar flares right now, but KP is 8 right now. See, it's not even there. Got KP 7 right here, 6.63. Yeah, this is right, but why does that say? Periodically, this site does that, and I don't know why. It might be that that's a projection, because obviously it's 6 point something here. Maybe it's moving up. I don't know. I haven't quite figured that out, Timmy. Yeah, I haven't figured that out why they do that. Walleye King and I both noticed that the other Friday, I think, that they reported something that I couldn't find anywhere else other than where they're at. So why don't I just hold on a second. All right, so they just did post it here. It's up at 8 right now. Thank you there, buddy, looking it up. So not all of NOAA's sites are up to date. So strong solar storm right now. So if your phone's not working too well, and I know that's what I just looked, buddy. If your phone doesn't work, your internet doesn't work, don't do a thing. Just wait till it's all over. Periodically, your phones won't work. Oops. There you go. Gotta turn the air up here, man. It's getting hot in this room. So yeah, thank you there, buddy. I'll make sure that I put that in the mobile books. So he just got a notification. Bam! And it's not even here yet. Well, maybe it's updated. Strong. This is a new update here. Severe geomagnetic storm now. G3 class geomagnetic storm has intensified to G4 severe. Possible widespread voltage control problems. Some protective systems will mistakenly trip out key assets from the grid. Spacecraft may experience service charging and tracking problems. Corrections may be needed. Other systems include pipeline currents affect preventive measures. HF radio propagation sporadic. Satellite navigation degraded for hours. Low frequency radio navigation disrupted. That's kind of your cell phones, right? And that says HF, and it'll have problems. Aurora has been seen low as Alabama, northern Cal, typically around the 45-degree geomagnetic storm latitude. All right, G4, severe geomagnetic storm. And just my boy, he might be, he's working this morning. This day in history, 2013, we had an M2. 2004, we had an M1. 2000, an M1. 2000, we had a G4. And today, we have a G4. right? We don't see very many G4s thus far, but we will as we go into 25, as we peak out in our solar cycle. All right. So a lot of talk about solar stuff, charging of the planet. When the charging of the planet happens, like that thing, I don't know about you. If I looked up in the sky and I saw that, I'd be afraid, just because it's like, what the heck is going on? And the auroras, we looked at everything. I think we've covered everything. Yeah. Still waiting to see if any earthquakes happen. We're monitoring those. Looking at the Middle East, nothing's happened. Now, they had an attack. Israel did have an attack, which they're going to respond, they said, to a military base. And I think that's the out that Iran was looking for, because they do not want to start shit. And they'll do it through their proxies, but one of the bases in Israel was hit pretty good, and as a retaliatory for the death of the bug leader. And so we're monitoring that as well. Elon Musk tonight is going to be on, as we send out yet another USS Abraham Lincoln and a missile submarine to the Middle East. Hezbollah attack there. As we look to tonight with Elon Musk, Trump interview, that'll happen. Let me see what time for that would happen. 8 p.m. Eastern. All right. So if you're interested, just know that that's happening tonight as well. And yeah, I think that's it. If you're new to our site, why don't I just show you this? The rabbit hole was created to dive deeper into subjects that needed further examination. Hi, I'm Joe, and my guest and I will take you on a journey of discovery and exploration. We will provide insight and theories regarding the subjects we discuss. Come join us live at joeslicklive.locals.com, or you can join us on Facebook or Twitch or YouTube. Thanks, and look forward to seeing you. And remember, don't get none on you. Yeah, make sure you subscribe, like, and share and follow. We do have a little 1.1 there in Scotland. It's 1.4. That's quality of C right now, so it probably could go lower. Thank you for your tips and your subscriptions. They do help me keep this going. And we are expanding our reach and our material here at JSL Studios. And I had planned to do something to release it today. I do have the time. I'm going to be working on that. So it's imminent. It's a major change here at JSL. That's not going to affect the daily reports or little rabbit holes. But it'll give you more information, kind of like what we're seeing here. And you'll be able to kind of watch things a little bit more. All right? So it's 8:12. We only needed an hour for this stuff. Well, an hour and a half. And big hugs over the year on YouTube. This video I will post here very shortly.